Another day, another story. You do not always realize that your desire was answered, because there is a time gap between your request and your acceptance. When you encountered a contrast, you considered it, and as a result, you had a clear desire, which you directed towards the source. But instead of focusing your attention on only one desire, you often return to the very situation of contrast from which that desire was born. And it turns out that your vibration is more in line with the cause of your desire than the desire itself. Every time you declare your need and try to justify it, you unwittingly increase the vibration of your current unpleasant situation and thus continue to keep yourself in disharmony with your new desire, not allowing yourself to get what you are asking for. As long as you pay more attention to what you don't want, you cannot have what you want. When you understand that what you are feeling indicates the degree of your permission or resistance, you will have the key to creating what you want. It is impossible to experience positive emotions about a situation all the time and get a negative outcome. And in the same way, it is impossible to consistently experience negative emotions for some reason and get a positive outcome. What you feel tells you whether you are allowing yourself to receive your natural good or not. We call your non-physical self your inner being, or your source. It does not matter what you call the source of energy, or life force, it is important that you consciously be aware of when you allow yourself to fully connect with it, and when you limit it even a little. Your emotions are constantly indicating the extent to which this connection is resolved or resisted. By consciously considering your feelings, you will learn to channel source energy better and grow into a skilled and joyful conscious creator. Online and free without installation and registration with practice, you can learn how to manage this creative energy. As a skilled sculptor, you will delight in sculpting this energy from which worlds are created and directing it to fulfill your own creative ideas. When you think about something that you have been waiting for a very long time, and notice that it still has not happened, a strong negative emotion arises in your soul. However, if you think about what you really wanted, and imagine that it is happening, impatience and anticipation wake up in you. And thus, focusing on how you feel, you can understand whether you are resisting the fulfillment of your desire or, conversely, allowing it. We are not telling you to try to control your thoughts, no, we are teaching you to try to direct them. It is not even so much about directing thoughts, but about reaching a certain feeling. Achieving the emotional state you like is the easiest way to keep yourself in vibrational harmony with what you consider to be good. When you think about what you have been waiting for a long time, and notice that it has not yet happened, you have a strong negative feeling in your soul. But when you think about what you really wanted, and imagine what it was, you get impatience and anticipation. Thus, by focusing on your feelings, you can understand whether you are resisting or allowing your desire. When you constantly focus on the object, constantly activate the corresponding vibration in yourself, it becomes habitual or dominant thought. And when your focused attention has sufficiently activated the dominant thought within you, what you have been focused on, desired or undesirable, will enter into your life and your personal experience. That is the law. Before you can benefit from paying attention to your emotions, you must first accept the idea that the only flow in the universe is the flow of goodness. Before you can benefit from being attentive to your emotions, you must first accept the idea that the only stream in the universe is the flow of good. You may or may not allow this stream, but when you allow it, you are well, and when you do not, it is bad. In other words, there is only the flow of goodness that you allow or resist, and from what you feel, you can understand exactly what you are doing now. You must flourish. You should be fine. You're a good. You are loved and the blessing is constantly pouring into you, and if you allow it, the blessing will manifest itself in your life experience in a wide variety of ways. Belief is just a habitual vibration. In other words, if you hold on to a thought long enough, once you encounter its subject matter, the law of attraction will easily bring you into the full vibration of your belief. And thus, since your life experience matches your thoughts, you come to the conclusion, yes, it's true. And while it may indeed be called truth, we prefer to call it attraction or creation. Anything you pay attention to can become your truth. The law of attraction says it can't be otherwise. Your life, like the life of any other person, only reflects what prevails in your thoughts. There are no exceptions to this rule. In order to consciously create your own life, you must decide that you will direct your thoughts. Only when you consciously choose the direction of your thoughts do you consciously influence your point of attraction. You cannot continue to talk about old themes and maintain previous beliefs by changing your point of attraction. You cannot continue to talk about old topics and keep your old beliefs, and at the same time change your point of attraction. In the same way, you cannot, we already mentioned this, tune the receiver to 6:30 a.m. and listen to music playing at 101 FM. Your vibrational frequencies must match. When you are completely focused on your desire, and the vibration you radiate reflects this, you feel great. And when you focus on not having what you really want, you feel terrible. Your emotions will always allow you to understand what is happening with your vibration. Your emotions are always telling you what your point of attraction is. Thus, if you pay attention to your emotions and deliberately choose thoughts that affect your well-being, you can consciously direct yourself to that vibrational frequency that will allow the fulfillment of any of your desires. When you accept the fact that you are a vibrational being and attract everything that happens in your life to you, and when you understand the relationship of what you think and feel with what you receive, you will have the keys to everything in your hands, what you wanted to achieve, in all areas of life. Most do not believe they have power over their beliefs. They observe what is happening around them and make assessments and judgments, but usually it seems to them that they have no power over the belief that develops in their soul. All their lives they divide what is happening into good and bad, into desirable and undesirable, right and wrong, but they very rarely realize that they have the ability to control their attitude to these events. Many people, in an effort to preserve their good, try to take control of any circumstances that, in their opinion, can threaten this good. To do this, they use their personal power or unite in groups, which gives them a feeling of even greater power. But this universe, based on attraction and knowing no exceptions and limitations, is arranged in such a way that the more they push away the unwanted from themselves, the more they attract this unwanted into their own life. The more you protect your beliefs, the more opportunities will give you the law of attraction for their realization in life. If you pay enough attention to something, the essence of what you have been thinking so hard about will eventually become a physical embodiment. And when others see the physical manifestation of your thoughts, they make them repeat themselves over and over again with their attention. Over time, it begins to be considered truth, no matter what it is based on, desire or unwillingness. Conscious creation is the conscious choice of experience that you make your truth. Although your newly activated thoughts are still very general and devoid of specificity, their vibrations are very weak and do not have much attractive power. Therefore, at the first stages, you most likely will not notice any external manifestations of your attention to this subject. But as the thoughts gain strength, your emotions will tell you how the growing vibrations of these thoughts correspond to the energy of your source. If they coincide with your true self, your pleasant emotions will point you to it. And if they do not match, your negative emotions will tell you about it. When you focus on a thought, it becomes easier to focus on it as the law of attraction brings you more and more of those thoughts. Emotionally, you develop a certain mood or attitude. When it comes to vibrations, you have a habitual vibrational pattern or attitude. Your emotional state can change from bad to good. Attitude arises when you simply pay attention to something and constantly think about it. And we want you to understand the tremendous value of consciously achieving your goals, because when you expect something, it happens. The details may vary, but the vibrational essence will match exactly. All living beings, animals, people and plants, experience what is called death. Everyone faces this without exception. Spirit, your true self, is eternal. Therefore, death is simply a change in the point of view of this eternal spirit. If you consciously keep in touch with this spirit in your physical world, then you are eternal by nature and you do not need to be afraid of your finiteness, because from this point of view there is no finiteness. You will never cease to exist because you are eternal consciousness. Your emotions allow you to understand how much source energy you are attracting at this moment by the force of desire that you are now experiencing. In addition, they allow you to understand whether your dominant thought corresponds to what you want or the absence of what you want. For example, if you experience passion or a joyful upsurge, this indicates a very strong desire that you are focusing. Anger or desire for revenge also signifies a strong desire, and boredom or apathy indicates a very loosely focused desire. Thanks for watching.